I think I'm going to talk a lot about formula in this video and how it's not always a bad thing to do it some of the time. And the formula in question is as follows. Two partners, one follows the rules, the other breaks them. One is a loose cannon and the other is a bit of a bore. It's the most cliche setup in Hollywood history, but we just can't get enough of it. And the fact of the matter is, following a recipe doesn't necessarily mean you didn't cook. 2026, The Wrecking Crew is no different. I watched it and found myself enjoying it. We see a slimmed down but still jacked Dave Bautista team up with Aquaman, Jason Momoa, as they star as two estranged brothers who have to set their differences aside to find whoever killed their father. It's not a spoiler, it literally happens at the beginning of the film. If that's even possible to find the killer. One thing's for sure though, we're gonna hear a lot of sibling back and forth from the pair in the process. Now, who would have thought these guys actually have great chemistry together? They're both beefcakes, but they play off each other really well. I think it's pretty much safe to say that based on how well these types of movies tend to do in the box office, we all love a fun buddy cop movie, right? The only person who would probably complain about it is Ben Shapiro. So this film follows this well-trodden path. Despite Hollywood seemingly working through their slush pile at the moment and hiring purely on nepotism, which is funny now that I mention it because that weasel, Ben, is super connected in the industry. How the hell he didn't make it, I'll never understand. His writing must be absolute cack. But to go back to the genre in question, I think it's quite hard to mess up a buddy cop movie when you have good gags, decent action, and likable characters, and this film had the lot. Like, I was actually surprised by how good the action was, because usually it's an absolute shit show when you're watching Hollywood after, like, growing up watching, like, Jackie Chan, Yuen Biao, Sammo Hung type movies, and then you go back and watch, you know, like, Liam Neeson, like, beat the hell out of 30 people, but doing it at, like, 0.5 speed, you know what I mean? We don't need to go too far into history, but we could definitely trace a line back to Akira Kurosawa's seminal work, Stray Dogs, or even In the Heat of the Night, where this kind of dynamic was really used to great effect. You don't even have to go that far. The one who really made it funny and deserves the credit was Eddie Murphy. 48 Hours is the one that stands out as taking that odd couple dynamic, you know, the knobhead police officer and Nick Nolte, and Eddie Murphy is the funny criminal, and essentially breathing life into the genre. Tell me I'm wrong. So many films that followed used the same recipe. Eddie proved that it wasn't a fluke either by following it up with Beverly Hills Cop. In The Wrecking Crew, the banter goes both ways. Despite Bautista playing it straight as the Navy SEAL, you know, a family man, he does not miss an opportunity to clap back at his reckless younger half-brother. This film proves that you can make a fun movie without veering too far away from the formula. Jason Momoa plays a suspended police officer. Doesn't give a shit, bruh. Where have we seen this before? Literally everywhere. Lethal Weapon, Rush Hour, Bad Boys, and that's not to knock the film in any way. The film feels more like Bad Boys set in the sandy beach shores of paradise, but that doesn't mean, you know, we can't blow shit up. The genre has been done to death. Films have been made from every perceivable angle, even taking the piss out of the genre, like in Hot Fuzz, pointing out how goofy it is to destroy half the city to get one bad guy. But in The Wrecking Crew, they're like, nah, forget all that. We want to do as much damage as possible. And the new Bad Boys movie proved that we don't have to make a parody. People still crave that classic chemistry, which I think Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista have in spades, but forget LA. Let's have the same level of destruction, but let's do it with the cast of Lilo and Stitch. Like, if you want to be entertained for a couple of hours, I would actually recommend this film. How often would you say you go into a film and leave with a good experience? Oftentimes, you leave disappointed, or maybe that's just me. The Wrecking Crew is proof that you can basically do paint by numbers and it still be entertaining. It establishes the fact that deep down, we love to see people who shouldn't be friends find a way to figure it out. It would be like if Daniel Cormier and John Jones team up out on the streets fighting crime and you know, like maybe finding some commonality between them. Let's just, like, we would have to, like, pretend that John Jones actually has some redeemable qualities and it isn't all just PR like P. Diddy. I would love to know your opinion if you end up watching the film. Let me know if these two even made it on the discussion when it comes to great buddy cop duos. I mean, would Would you love to see the two in another movie? I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think they're on the same level of, like, let's say, a Lee and Carter, but I think they did a pretty good job.